Hey guys, it's me, Penny again. I'm super excited about today's topic. I've been meaning to video on this for a while. I just kind of wanted to see um, how it was going as my pregnancy was going. So I'm 20 weeks at this point, and today's topic is going to be exercise and nutrition during pregnancy. And I just want to share kind of some of my tips and what's been working for me throughout this first half of being pregnant. So we'll start with the icebreakers, and they kind of have to do with the nutrition and exercise, and I'll be talking a lot about them when I get into more detail. So I have a couple of products that I really, really love. This is this little water bottle thing, and I got it at a running store, and you basically put it on your hand, and you can walk and still have your water and still have your hands. So the reason I really like this is because I've been doing a lot of walking, like 40-minute walks, and Denver's super dry, and it's also really, really hot in the summer. We've been getting like temperatures in the high 80s when it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. So even if I go on kind of a morning walk, it's still super hot, and I found myself getting really dehydrated and not really enjoying my walks as much. So this has been a total lifesaver. This one is by Nathan. I don't even know what brand that is. Again, I just picked it up at a running store. I'm sure you could get it on Amazon as well. This I got at Sports Authority, and it's just my little iPhone holder, and it's like a little band, and you put it around your arm, and it just like Velcros closed. And so what's really great about this is that I can listen to music or podcasts. And this kind of moves me on to my next, it's not really a product and it's not a book, but it's a podcast. It's called the Pregnancy Perfect Podcast. And I listen to this when I'm on my walks, and it's so great. It's basically this mom of two girls, Annabelle, and she interviews a bunch of stay-at-home moms / entrepreneurs. So they all have children, but they also have like their own businesses, whether it's blogging, kind of social networking, marketing. Some of them have their own clothing or bag companies, and she just asks them all the same questions, the same set of questions about their experience being pregnant with one of their children. And it's so great because you just feel like you're human, and they tell the funniest stories, and they're so honest, and it's just so refreshing. So I've been listening to this since I was like 11 weeks pregnant. I think there's 38 episodes in total. So you can find those on your little podcast thing on your phone. And then they also have a blog. And then my other favorite book that I've been using a lot since I hit the second trimester is my 100 Days of Real Food cookbook. And I really, really love 100 Days of Real Food. It's based on actually a blog started by a mom of two girls, and she decided that she wanted to try eating non-processed foods with her family, and it kind of highlighted their journey, and now it's turned into a full-fledged blog, and it's, their family business, and it's based on kind of only eating real foods, no processed foods, whole grains, and she kind of looks at all the ingredients she'll go into the supermarket and look at, let's say, a box of cookies, and she'll only buy it if there's less than 5 ingredients, which I think is a really good kind of little rule of thumb when you're trying to see what's processed and what isn't. So I love this cookbook. We've made so many dinners from it, and it's really helped kind of modify our lifestyle even before I got pregnant, and I've stuck to her rules throughout my pregnancy as well, and I've just been feeling so great. So we'll kind of highlight some of these products and books as I talk about what I've been doing. So I'll start a little bit with nutrition. I wasn't really able to do a lot when I was feeling so sick, so the first trimester was really about whatever I could eat, and it was a lot of boxed mac and cheese and white bagels and stuff that I really was not used to eating, but it was really just a matter of whatever would stay down. And then when I hit between 12 and 14 weeks, I started feeling a lot better and incorporating kind of more of my whole grains that I usually do. Started being able to bake more and make more of my own like muffins and breads and things like that. But what I really try to do is just make a lot of things at home. You know, when I go into the supermarket, I only kind of walk around the exterior of the supermarket, which is where all the fresh produce is, like dairy and fruits and vegetables. And then, you know, we won't buy a lot of stuff that is super processed. And then if we are buying packaged foods like pasta or rice, we'll go for the brown rice or the whole wheat pasta. So I definitely indulge. I had fried pickles the other day at a restaurant, and they were definitely not healthy or whole wheat. But that's, you know, kind of just what's been working for me, is kind of indulging whenever I feel like it, which is really not that often. Like I said in one of my other videos, if I was really craving a grilled cheese, I'll just make one at home with my whole wheat bread and, you know, organic cheese, organic tomatoes, that kind of thing. Just kind of feeling better to have more control. And I also eat little snacks throughout the day. Definitely eating a lot more protein than I was before. The first trimester was really hard because anything that was like animal protein was really gross to me. But now I'm eating chicken, so that's good. And fish has been really great. I have been craving tuna sandwiches, which I know sounds really weird, but it's working for me. And you're actually allowed to have a lot more fish than you realize when you're pregnant. You just have to stay away from like the raw fish and sushi, and then anything that has really high mercury levels like swordfish or mackerel. And another tidbit that I learned from my OB is that you are allowed to have soft cheese. So there's this whole debate about cheese, and cheese, you know, is kind of looped in with deli meats, and there's something called listeria that pregnant women are much more likely to contract. And it's a really bad stomach bacteria, and it can be really dangerous for you and your child. But it is not found in pasteurized cheese. And a lot of times, you know, you'll read in pregnancy books or read online that soft cheeses are not pasteurized. So by soft cheeses, I mean feta cheese, blue cheese, brie. But that's not really the rule. The rule is it has to be pasteurized. And actually in North America, since like the early 1900s, pasteurization is basically like the only way to go. It's kind of illegal not to pasteurize things, you know, so unless you're going to Whole Foods and you're looking for like a specific raw milk cheese, you're pretty much okay with all the cheeses just as long as it says pasteurized on it, and most of them do. So that made me so happy because I literally eat feta cheese like it's my job. I lived in Israel for a year, and feta is my life, and it just made me so happy that I was able to have it again. So tidbit for you mommies out there, you can have soft cheese as long as it's pasteurized. Other than that, you know, we just try to stick to having lots of veggies on our plate, you know, unlimited fruit. Fruit has been just, I've been craving fruit this whole pregnancy, so that's been really great. And it's so nice in the summer in Colorado because there's just so many options with respect to fruit. Yeah, so that's kind of nutrition. I'm pretty loose with it. Again, it's more of a lifestyle. I really don't like to eat processed food, so if I want crackers or muffins, I just kind of make them myself and try to stick to those sort of rules. And again, if you look at 100 Days of Real Food, just browse her blog. Her name is Lisa Leek. You know, you'll see kind of some of the rules that I go by. And okay, so on to exercise. So this was one of the things I was really concerned about even before I got pregnant. I don't love working out in the gym. I'm not like one of those people who like goes out and runs marathons. I'm not a runner. But I do love the feeling that I get when I exercise, and I love the endorphin rush. And after sitting on the couch for like 12 weeks straight, I started to feel really antsy and actually really wanted to get out and exercise. And I started just by doing walks. So we have some really great trails around our neighborhood, and I have a little app on my phone that just tells me how many miles I'm walking and how many minutes. And I would walk like about just under 2 miles, around 40 to 45 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. And I've been doing that since, I want to say, 11 weeks, and it's just been really helping me. And the reason I started, you know, exercising was because I've heard from so many women that the one thing they regret is that when they were pregnant, they didn't exercise. And a lot of people say it helps you with labor, and I actually feel like it helps me with my mood, and it helps me to feel a little bit more energetic. And sometimes even when I'm feeling a little queasy in the morning or lethargic and I go out for my walk outside, it's like very refreshing and turns my mood around. So it's really helped me with a lot of pregnancy symptoms, especially the walking, because it's kind of like a mind-body thing. I can listen to my podcast, and being outside is really great. The fresh air is so wonderful, and at the same time I'm getting, my heart rate up and all of that stuff. So I've loved doing that. And I've actually moved on to swimming laps. I used to do that a lot before I was pregnant. We have a great lap pool at my gym. It's starting to get really, really hot outside, and so walking 4 days a week is not really happening because it's just getting a little bit uncomfortable. So swimming is such a great option. Again, it's that mind-body kind of exercise, and I feel like as soon as I get in the water, I feel like myself again, which I'm sure will happen as I continue to get a bigger belly. So that's one thing I've heard from so many people, is that once you get into the water, you feel completely weightless. So that's good. And I haven't tried this yet, but I used to do Orange Theory before I got pregnant. My husband loves Orange Theory, and there's actually a trainer there. And she just had a baby about a year ago, and she helps a lot of the either pregnant women or women who have just had babies and are kind of in that postpartum period modify their workouts at Orange Theory. So Orange Theory is basically, it's like a franchise, and you go in and it's a studio, and you do a little bit of cardio on a treadmill, you do a little bit of rowing on a rowing machine, and then there's a weight room and you do weights. So for pregnant women, it's really great because they actually monitor your heart rate. It's part of the program, and you can use light weights, you can walk on the treadmill, you don't have to run. The rowing is pretty easy. So I haven't tried that yet. I haven't gotten the courage to do that yet, just because I've just gotten over the nausea. I'm 20 weeks, finally not on any medication for that. So just definitely want to try that though, because I think it looks scary from the outside, but they actually can really help you through it. Just because you're pregnant doesn't mean you can't do it. Some other things I've heard are prenatal yoga, or just taking any sort of yoga class and modifying it has helped a lot of my friends, especially with some of the aches and pains that you get, like round ligament pain and lower back pain. Yoga is really amazing for that. And another studio that I've heard a lot about is, it's called Barre3. So there's obviously a ton of barre classes out there. The reason that I've heard Barre3 is so great is that not only can you go in to the studio, but you can also do some of their online classes. And a lot of women, this really helps them. If they're at home and they can just turn on their computer and do like a 30-minute class, they'll actually do it. So that has worked I've just read a lot of blog posts about those kinds of classes, specifically Barre3. So you can look at their website, and they have actual prenatal workout classes, and you don't have to have a bar. Like they tell you, you just need a chair, you may need a yoga block or a yoga mat, things that are really easy, maybe light weights for some of the classes, and they range from like 10 minutes to 30 minutes to 50 minutes, and then you can also pick your classes based on intensity, so how you're feeling that day. So again, I haven't tried that, but I've heard really wonderful things about it. Like I said before, if you're starting at the beginning and you're not feeling so great, one of my favorite things to do is just go for a walk. And then lastly, Pilates. A lot of people love Pilates. There are actually reformer classes that you can take instead of doing like a private Pilates instructor, which can be super expensive. My only kind of caveat to this Pilates thing is that as you get bigger, you're not going to be able to be on your back for as much. And a lot of time when you're on the reformer, you're on your back. So you would just have to kind of tell the instructor, obviously, I'm pregnant, can we do a couple of exercises that are not so much me being on my back for so long. And I think most people are just really good at modifying. They're super happy to help out. You really can do anything, and doctors say that usually if you did something before, so for example, if you ran half marathons before, there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to continue running, things like that. I think the only thing you probably don't want to do is like lift crazy weights. I can't imagine why anyone would want to do that when they're pregnant anyways. So I hope that helps you. I just posted a blog post on healthy pregnancy snack ideas on my blog. It's www.penelopeposts.com. So head over there if you need some ideas for healthy pregnancy snacks. And of course, if you have any questions for me, please email me, Facebook me, whatever you want to do. I hope this was helpful, and happy exercising. Thank you.